Alright, so here's my process for making beef jerky at home. I'm just using some ground sirloin. I find that sirloin, because it's 90% lean, 10% fat, is makes less of a mess. So, and it tastes great. So I'm just using this. It'd be great to use grass-fed or whatever. I just don't have any of that right now. So I work with 3 pounds each time. Just buy 3 of these. Runs a little over $10, and to make 3 pounds of beef jerky. So process 1 will be get all this in there. Alright, step 2. Using Nesco jerky spice. I just use the original stuff. I don't like it hot. This is plenty spicy for me. I'll put a link in the notes to the video. But I've gotten to where I buy the large size. You get 18 packs in this. I think it's less than $1 a pack. So, and use 1 pack per pound. They're dual packs. You got jerky cure and jerky spice. This stuff is perfect. It tastes just like in a store. So this stuff tends to cake, so it has to be broken up in order to be spread. I'm sure there's a better way to do all this. I'm not a cook. I barely know how to work with food at all. But I have gotten pretty comfortable with making jerky, and people are always asking about it, so that's why I thought I'd share. So I just throw this stuff into a little container that I can use to mix it, break it up, and then use to sprinkle it on the meat. Like I say, this stuff tends to cake. You can break it up with your fingers, which is fine, but gritty since it tends to adhere. So I just break this stuff up. I'm using an ice cream scoop, which I'm sure wasn't intended for this. It's a nice blunt tool for breaking up the larger pieces. Going for a little bit of an even spread here. So I have most of the stuff worked out here. And then I'm just going to take a whip and do what I can to mix it up, looking for somewhat even distribution. This stuff is powerful. It's quite strong. I don't mean offensive strong, but it's quite strong when you get quite a bit of it. So you want to do what you can to apply it. Again, there's probably a better way. Foodies will know how to do this, like put it in a shaker and do it better than I do. But here's the way I approach it. I just sprinkle a light layer over the top. And then I just mix it up with my fingers. And basically at this point, then I just flatten it out again and rinse and repeat. Sprinkle, mix until the spice is all mixed in. So I will spare you by speeding up this part as well. All right, so the next step is using the jerky gun. Label's falling off. Looks like the Heston jerky gun. Well, a Weston jerky gun. This thing's really nice. It's about 40 bucks. It is a gun, very much like a caulking gun. Little button here on the end. You push it. It allows you to push the stick back through. So I put half the load in. I use the stick, rounded stick tool on the end here. Seal it on. And there's a collector that you can use, but I don't find it necessary. You'll see it's just a little cup, kind of like a measuring cup with a hole in the bottom. And you stuff your beef down in here. You can fill it up with about 1.5 pounds. I do this twice for every session. Flows in nice and easily, no problem, very little mess overall. As you put it in, you just pack it in a little bit. All right. And I use the Nesco dehydrator. Lay one of these buggers out. Going to do the traditional caulk gun action here where we squeeze the thing down until it starts to come out the end. It's a meat gun. Just kind of chop it off with the finger at the end. Rotate the screen slightly. And after you're finished, there's always a little residue left. Where you can roll a last one by hand, a big fatty of your own, and drop it in as well. So now we've got 4 trays. It's got a bottom on it, and it's time for the dehydrator. So we put the top on the dehydrator. I turn it all the way up to 160. Then 5.5 hours later, turn off the fan, unplug, lift it up, Move this aside for a minute. Lay out some paper towels. Then you just lay this over the top. Press this down to get a little of the grease off. After they've had a chance to chill just a little bit, grab them and store them in a Tupperware container. Fits perfectly in the fridge. Makes for a monstrously convenient snack. Look at all these. Oh, darn. I don't think all these will fit in there. We'd have to eat a couple of them. Enjoy!